Hey Kingsman, welcome back. I have another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle for you guys today. We have a 3v3. If you like France, more specifically France 11, you're going to love this battle. There are three 11-point Frances and then one Swiss on this battlefield, and they're taking on a Helder Russian, Austrian, Prussian force. 10-point Russia, 10-point Austria, 10-point Russia. I think it said Russia twice, but then Prussia's 10-pointer, and then Helder is that 8-pointer. So this is going to be a very interesting battle. As you can see already, Cav is kind of staring each other down. This hill is a long sought after hill here. It controls, if the coalition can take this hill, look at what they are looking at. They are looking at the whole French army. The rest of them stretched way over the hills. And to the left, they can see everything. So artillery would be very crucial. There's crossroads and LOC as well. I do suspect that the coalition is a little bit closer than the French alliance to this hill in the surrounding area. So it's going to be hard fought for that, I suspect. The rest of the French, they did garrison this with some National Guard. A massive French cav force pushing up on this right side. We have a lot of dragoons and cuirassiers, carabiniers, and chevaliers. Just a good, strong cav force. This can wreak some havoc on the right side. Infantry, I think, are following behind. We have the Swiss and France going that direction. The other French army is going to be going to the left to reinforce their ally, who is way in the front. The beautiful thing about the France 11 is you can bring this massive Grenadier assault column. I mean, this thing is massive, 266 men, and you can bring massive units. Like, most of these are way over 100. So this other French army, because they're all 11 points, it's been kind of difficult to tell them apart. Eugene, they're setting up here. He's not going to advance. He has decided that this is where he's going to stay for now. He's got his infantry all lined up, and this is going to be a tough one since he's not going to have the hill. He has a slight slope on his side. He has his reserves. Combat gen sitting back there. I do enjoy the raincoats and the different colored hats and like such. Very nice looking. Flags flapping in the breeze. But yeah, you can see this cav force is moving up on the side. Now, he does have artillery already opening up. Probably going for these Kazakis that are sitting on the hill just watching them down. But here comes the Austrian cav. They got Chevaliers, Ulanen. Honestly, I think as Austria, it's best to be aggressive with the lights. You can flank and you can outnumber the French. Now, the French are falling back, but I don't think they are falling back fast enough, and they're... Maybe they'll get out of there. They're actually maybe going to run back. Now, the coalition has definitely asserted themselves on this hill. That'll be a problem for the French. Now, the French are going to be pushing up a lot of cav on this flank. I think that's going to be a problem for this coalition. I don't know who's going to be over here. Maybe Helder will. If they can form some squares, they may be able to defeat them. But I think Helder and all of them need to fall back, because this is a big push that the French probably are about to make with all their cav. When you see this much cav massing up, you want to fall back. Especially as a coalition. I mean, this is a lot. This is almost all the French cav all in one area. I mean, man. And it's all advancing. Got these heavies. Look at those helmets. Don't ever take time to appreciate the finer things, aka the uniforms, but those uniforms looking good. So now the French have decided to set up along this flank. I think they have some horse artillery back here, maybe. Maybe, I'm not sure where it went. I thought I saw some. But now we're seeing some Prussian cav, and Helder has some Russian lights, so dragoons as well. I don't see any heavies yet. They probably are right there. There they are. And Prussia has some heavies as well. This looks like it's going to be a fight infantry advancing the road, some UK, that is really good. They can form square. This is about to go off. I know it. I just have that feeling. Someone's about to charge here. Look at all this cav massing up. Someone's about to commit, and if the coalition they can move up their infantry to support this fight, they're going to do very well for themselves. These guys, if one of them charges, the other one's going to be stuck in combat. But yeah, France is starting to push up all of their cav. This actually could be a really good time. I would engage as France. You have this huge flank here. If you push in right here, they're going to start funneling this direction. You have a huge flank you can swing around. I do see Russian cav moving up on this side. So France is not very strong on that side here, but I do believe something's happening. Now they're just chasing off the Chevalier Lancers. Still, no one wants to fight. They're so close to each other, and yet no one wants to do attack first. You know, they're just looking right at each other and don't want to fight, which is totally okay. But eventually someone's going to have to fight, and someone's going to be at disadvantage. I think the French still are looking very good for this side. And they are getting very aggressive here, and I suspect they're about to attack. No? I mean, I think they could win this. Not right here. There's a bunch of infantry here. But it looks like some Chasseurs Cheval are going to get charged by some Kazakis. That's all that's happening there. This cav fight, guys, like, it is just... it is so close to happening, but then it keeps not. And the French actually are going to fall back here. Those Kazakis caught up with the Chasseurs Cheval and were easily able to break them. That's unfortunate for the Swiss. I am very surprised they didn't push that engagement, but it looks like Austria maybe is going to. They're running forward some of their units. Either that or they're just trying to be aggressive here. Artillery is set up, I believe, over here, so maybe they'll try pounding away at this position of French. Or, sorry, not the French, but the, excuse me. Of the Austrians. Still nothing yet. I think the French want to wait for their reinforcements to get here, which is wise. And if the coalition doesn't move on that, then, I suspect it's not going to go very well. What are these guys doing? I'm so confused as to where their banner is. But anyway, guys, it looks like everything's disengaging. I'm just going to fast forward here because I don't see barely anything from the coalition now, and the French are actually falling back. They didn't want to engage there. France is still just standing in a long line. Like I said, just waiting for their ally. Their ally is so far behind. If the coalition had some scouting they could do, you know, they'd be able to see that there's an army way back here, and, you know, this army's by itself, although they do have reinforcements moving up now. But you can see the Russians actually are moving up here. They have taken this 1-pointer. They have the 2-pointer. There's a 4-pointer way back here and a 4-pointer right here. But it looks like they're going to move up here, put some line infantry in the LOC. And honestly, this could become an observation post. They could just sit right over here, and if the French were going to try to flank, they would have them. Now look at that. There's a ladder. I wonder if they get up on the roof. That would be very cool. Helder looks like they are advancing. Maybe Prussia's right behind them. It kind of looks like they're all on the left here. In which case, this side will be able to swing around and do some real damage here. But yeah, like I said, Helder looks like they were advancing. Maybe they're going to fall back a little bit. This is taking a while to engage. Which, don't get me wrong, that's realistic. But the French are being very passive until their ally gets here, which is not a bad idea. But I think it's bad for the coalition. Now Austria's moving up there, or not Austria, sorry, Swiss are moving up here. And they could use this road to start pushing up here. They have 2 infantry sitting way up here. These guys can't form square. The Canaries. Very small units. They don't seem to care that they are all by themselves. But Helder has taken up this position. I don't know where Prussia is. Russia obviously going to be on this side. Ooh, artillery shelling this Hussar unit. These Prussians are about to get volleyed by the Swiss. Look at this. They're already looking a little concerned here. They're going to run here as the Chasseurs Cheval are going to chase them. They do have some cuirassiers moving up here, but I would not get close to these squares. And the Swiss are being very aggressive right now. Pushing up here. They actually cost 2 cuirassier units. But nothing happening, really. The Prussians and Austrians and all that, they're just kind of, I think, still forming up. They have slow-moving armies. So this is a slow but steady. Once they get in position, though, then they are set. Austria needs to pull back their cav because it is getting shot. And you don't want to lose your cav when they're not even doing anything. Actually, I'd say right now the French are in a good position. They have artillery already set up. They should push up a couple cav to keep scouting the area. Fast forwarding once again, because my goodness, this battle is just taking its time. Swiss are pushing up, it looks like, forming up a line of battle in front of the French. So hopefully the French will move forward and reinforce them so they aren't left out high and dry. This is my favorite one, the 5E. There's 248 men in that unit. It is a really good unit to have. And they're really good quality too, so. The Swiss actually are a very fun faction to bring. Artillery getting up. Hopefully they have cav watching out for them. We have taken the building, sir! Okay, so now the French have taken this building, and they're going to push up on the flank, the left flank of this French faction. They also, looks like, just in case the Russians are in the woods, they have pushed over their grenadiers and their combat general to stop that fight if they do try pouring through the forest. The Swiss, like I said, getting very aggressive here. The French should honestly, they're going to back them up here, but they are going to start pushing up. This side of the hill is not as steep, and there's a road here, but now the Prussians are here. And they can take on the Swiss alone very easily. And so long as they have cav defending them, they can push up and just... My goodness. All of a sudden, you just see Prussia, Russia, Elder, all pushing up here. I'm surprised they didn't put the guns right here, you know, to start firing. Or like put them right here and just start firing down this side. This is obviously where the fight's going to happen. Prussia is moving up here in their columns. Lots of Prussia. Which would honestly give the Swiss, yeah, they're going to fall back their infantry. They're like, yeah, no, thank you. As I would too. So it looks like they're going to plan on having the Swiss as the front part of the right flank here. And the French maybe are going to form the left side. They did lose the artillery. That is so unfortunate. Possibly an artillery shell. Glancing hit them. And that was it. Like I said, Prussia will push up, hopefully. And this battle will finally start. Looks like Austria is actually going to advance down this hill through the artillery fire. They are going to advance to the left side. Russia is have some fighting with using their Kazakis and their line infantry. Using some squares to drive back these lancers. Now, France could either go reinforce this side, they could push up the hill and take on Russia, or they could have one swing this way and one spokes on Russia. I think this could work really well. Russia's all by themselves. If these both fixate on them and take out Russia, swing around the hill, you can come in behind Helder, Austria, and Prussia. because Prussia and Austria are committing here. They are going straight down the hill, going straight for the French. Look at that. So everybody's massing up, very obviously. Fixing for a deadly fight. You got Cav moving up as well. And let's see, Prussia has a lot of Fusiliers. And I'm concerned that Prussia's being a little too aggressive here. They're pushing up. I mean, Austria's right next to them. But this whole force is... They could just get this whole force destroyed if some Cav just moved in. And they isolated this, what, 6 units of Prussian infantry. This looks like it could be a strong defense for the French. This is very weak. There's no infantry here. I apologize. I don't know why I keep yawning. It's the middle of the day, not even late night. And so far... Oh wow, 79 minutes. They didn't do 60 minutes. Oh boy. Been being in here for a while. Hopefully one person or the other will cave and break. We got Prussians finally getting the first volleys of this game off. It being a slower battle though, I can get a lot more cool zoomed in shots of this troops. These guys are wearing the green, brown pants, white pants. Very nice. We do have artillery from the Swiss. We got some 6-pounders. They're very close to this troop. Some Prussian cav could easily rush in there, and they got nothing close. They're moving up some men closer, but I'd be concerned about losing your guns. As Prussia, they should push up and take out those guns immediately. I've played a game on my stream, and I saw Prussia just get destroyed just by shooting them with artillery, especially this close. Infantry this close, you're going to lose a lot to artillery. Now the Swiss have formed up, and they are going to start shooting. One of the coolest things you've seen. The two forces. Oh, Prussia did go for it. They went in for the artillery. And the question is the artillery there broken? That is unfortunate. That would have helped so much.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
But anyway, enough about the cool thing. So this battle is definitely starting to heat up over here. Prussia is pushing up. Swiss are trying to hold them, and here comes the rest of Prussia. The only thing I would say that's a little concerning, Prussia does not have any guys in the back lines to bolster the morale, and Prussian morale is very low to begin with. It's like 2 or 3. So these guys are not going to hold up against the Swiss, who are much more morale-driven. So they're going to do way better on morale. They can easily take on this many units. The Prussians honestly could stretch these guys out to have, what, 4, 5, and then have 2 sit behind. But the French are getting involved here. Prussia is definitely moving up here. Honestly, I guess I understand why the French are waiting over here on this side, because they're the French ally is still moving up here. I would not use the woods though as France. I would just go totally around. Maybe use the woods if the Russians are there. But this fight is raging over here now. The French, they're actually starting to fall back just a little bit. The French, I think, are going to easily hold this. That is my prediction. I think the French can easily, with the Swiss, they can hold. Also, both sides kind of fell back a little bit. They both were kind of scared to fight too much. But now the Swiss are going to move forward. Honestly, this battle is going to go very well for them, so they may want to. And And they're going to get the first shots off. The Swiss are now going to reply. Yes, this, I think I said, the Swiss are definitely going to do well. Although they are moving up on themselves, so the French definitely have to move up with them, which they are thankfully doing. But they should form like this and then move up. They're going to go sideways, and they're going to get volleyed probably twice before they've actually gotten into a line of battle by the Prussians, before they even get a chance to fire here. Oh, and maybe not. The Prussians weren't close enough. That is very fortunate for them. As now the Prussians are going to advance. Oh, we have some cav and infantry. Look how much the Austrians are actually pushing up here. This is actually looking like a very good push for the coalition at this point. They are pushing up massively here. They did work. We're going to maybe go for the
our
guns.
general is under attack.
That did not work out very well. This is a combat gen gun, I believe. 12 pounder. That's going to do some real damage. You can see it's already starting to fire at these reserves. We do have some cav that is pushing up here, and honestly, the rest of the French could peel some men over to attack the flank. In fact, they could readjust the whole line just for right here. Now, we do have some cav. I don't know what they're doing. They're going to charge in on the infantry on both sides. I don't think they formed square in time. So they could break this Austrian infantry. Over here, the Prussians, like, they're going to fall back once again and push up on the same time. Austria, honestly, doesn't seem to be too worried about this. They are sending some cav over. They did lose guys that could form square. Very unfortunate. They do have some cav. They can push up. They have infantry as well that can pour some volleys in on this cav while the infantry is fighting. This left flank still in the balance. Still anyone's game at this point in time. Over here, France is pushing up. Russia holding this village. They have some cav. I know they have artillery as well. This French army honestly should push up at this point. Help out their ally. Push up right here just to take it on. We have some cav. Possibly that's going to charge through here. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. We have a massive break. The smoke I could not see. But some massive break as some cav went in and is just slicing apart this French army. So the left flank of this whole line is actually having some problems as Austria is now going to start pushing, and you can see France is going to start forming up some infantry possibly to meet them. Those infantry for Austria did come back, but more cav. We have some dragoons in Ulanen only, but they are just breaking the French line. These guys not doing so hot. Austria is basically being able to push a ton. Now, we do have some hussars and cuirassiers who are going to go in on a bunch of Prussians that cannot form square. This is actually going to go terribly for the Prussians as they're going to get chopped to pieces by the French heavy cav. They do have some cav they can throw in if these guys break, but Prussia's now going to pull some guys back here just so they can form a square if need be. Still Swiss pushing, Prussia's trying to hold. Prussia did not break. They had some losses, but they did not break. That's going to be a reminder. What they should do is they should move the two guys that can form square right here. All these guys right here, and then keep pushing on this French flank. Don't let them
Our men are running, sir.
We do have some French cav that pushed up here, getting shot in the side. We had units that can form square, stopping some of the cav from pushing up. So Austria is having some problems here with the French cav, but at the same time, good for them for continually pushing. The French cav is trying to stop them from pushing, and they are not. Helder has not gotten this fight, but Helder is starting to make their appearance. We do have France and possibly Russia now fighting for this LOC. I think France can easily push it back. I don't think Russia has a lot here. You see a lot more Russian. Russia's kind of spread thin, so that flank I think is going to still be a disaster for the coalition. But look at this huge push. It's a big old divot They have made this whole divot, and they're pushing on both sides here. That is looking very painful now. More French cav now getting ready to charge once again. They just gotta wait their time until these guys have fired a volley. We got some friendly artillery, though, that is starting to poke holes in the Swiss infantry. And France, like I said, is very weak over here, so Austria could use this to their advantage, start swinging around. You can see that actually Prussia is pushing around here. Mass up some cav over here as well. And actually, it looks like Helder in Russia maybe are going to push up and start engaging the French that have been sitting here. Maybe not the wisest idea, as this artillery is now going to just start blastering this infantry. Now, we do have some artillery up here on the hill, some 12-pounders for Helder. That I think has been focusing on the French guns. Yeah, there's 11 men left there. We do have France engaging, moving through the forest. Russia, I don't think, is prepared to fight for this. Well, they don't have enough men to really be able to fight appropriately for this side. But the real fight still is over here, where I don't want to miss it, and I think I still am missing it. Looks like we had some cav going in and infantry going in. We have a cav charge trying to break these Fusiliers that are just refusing to break. We have Austria now charging in some of their cav. Not going to go very well. That square was able to stop them hard in their tracks, but Austria is still pushing here. Austria honestly should be pushing here as well with Helder, since Helder's going. Might as well just back it up to make sure that that is the best attack for its buck, because I think Helder's not going to do the greatest in this fight.
Our men are running, sir!
We do now have France pushing up some cuirassiers, dragoons, starting to try to break the French. My goodness, actually France is doing very well here. We do have some infantry getting charged by possibly some grenadiers. So this whole fight is just becoming a bit of a disaster for the French. Although they have a lot of cav that is coming up here, I think the Russians are going to be pushed back. More Russian cav pushing up here. This flank, guys, could be crucial to this fight. And I think that Russia is not prepared to fight for it. We do have Helder cav
Our
that
men are
pushed
running,
up here.
sir.
No, infantry that pushed up using the road. The foot guard. They just literally punched a hole straight through the French line. This is actually really bad. They used this road and just rushed up. Now they're rushing tons of cav. They have punched a hole straight through the French line, and they are using that to start turning the flank on both sides here. Over here, Prussia is starting to have a little breakage here. Swiss are starting to shift over. Prussia should be shifting over as well, trying to break the French. French looking very weak in the center, but right here, Helder has made a huge breakthrough, and you can see they're actually doing a bayonet charge on the guns here. Cav trying to save the artillery piece. Ooh, that is some close shots. And France is looking pretty weak in the center here. They need to shift some cav over to help out, because Helder just made a massive punch. A lot of cav from both sides starting to rush into this fight here. You can see Helder starting to, with Austria, thankfully. They're going to charge the Austrians with their cav, some heavy cuirassiers and dragoons. Austria should be rushing cav over here and trying to get rid of this force once and for all, guys. There was so much happening. I'm trying to get it all. Over here, Russia is not very strong here. Like I said before, they are getting pushed out of the town. France is trying to reform here, as Helder just made that massive spearhead push right through France. Austria is actually having some problems, but they did move some infantry. And look at this flanking fire on these cuirassiers. They did break some of the Austrian infantry, but they actually had some losses here. Now Austria is going in and taking out some of the combat gen for France. Austria here is making a good push. Prussia is actually look like they may have overextended themselves here, as the Swiss are now resorting to some bayonet charges along with some cav charges. And Prussia needs to shift their troops over. Even just having a second line here would not be a miss at this point in time. They have their general, Leopold, trying to form up. I think Prussia's going to lose this whole line to the Swiss, although they do have some cuirassiers and some reserve chevaliers pouring over. But the French and Swiss can break Prussia, then that can help save this whole battle, because Helder just made a huge push here. Thankfully, you have another fully French full French army over here still, because France is having some mass breakage here as Helder's has been able to push with Austria. The only strong points are the flanks. The center for France is definitely very weak. Here we go. Here's that mass break I was calling. The morale just too terrible. And the Swiss just doing too well here. And Prussia needs to reform their ranks, try to maybe fall back to the hill and just become a thorn in the side of Swiss and France if they try to swing on the flank. Austria, honestly, should try to reform their lines as well. Try to use Helder. If they can all mobilize and just let Russia maybe be a sacrifice to France to keep them busy, the rest of them can swing over and try to crush this side. France is still in this, though. We have some Dragoons now going to fight with some Lancers. We do have, excuse me, we do have French trying to fall back. They're going to get volleyed in the side here by Helder, and they're probably going to keep breaking. Helder doing an excellent job. I mean, France has just been torn to pieces here. And this
Our men are
center
running,
is
sir.
looking bad. But here we go, guys. The Prussian mass break. Prussia is just breaking piecemeal. As you have some French Dragoons going in. We have some infantry possibly going to do a bayonet charge here. These guys are probably going to break here against the masses of France. And I think Prussia, yeah, Prussia is trying to get the rest of their troops out of there. They can at least be a thorn in the side if the Swiss try to. Now, Austria is trying to hold off against the
The men
Swiss
are fatigued, sir.
as France
and
is going to
must
try to
rest a while.
push here. Austria has done an excellent job of pushing. Helder has done a really good job of pushing, and hopefully Russia is going to be able to just hold here. They have, looks like they're falling back here. They have artillery set up on the hill. They're going to try to slow down any French attack here as France is going to start advancing on the side. I'm sorry, I missed a lot of the fighting over here. I couldn't get it all. It's a good fight, though, when you have something like that, you know. We do have some more Helder infantry breaking here. France is still a little bit intact on this side, and that's the best side. So now they're going to push with the rest of this French army. But they're split in two. The red has split this blue in two if you look on the mini-map here. But it's not looking too bad over here. Prussia is going to stand and fight here. Start pouring in the volleys. Try to maybe break through on this side. They need to. They may need to have a breakthrough because the Swiss are going to start pushing on Austria, and Austria is just moving over everything they have. Their artillery still in the hill is going to start doing some really good work, focusing down this cav from the Swiss, the Dragoons. And actually, Austria looks like they're going to fall back a little bit. And Helder is going to start pushing up, maybe helping support this French attack or defense. France looks like they have a really good defensive position here. If they formed up right here, they have buildings that are make it difficult for the French to attack them. Or they can form up right here and then use the buildings to build a retreat. But Helder is now on the defensive. Hopefully they are not overextending themselves because France has some reinforcements. And they could be losing their army, which could be a huge loss for the coalition here. So here's the weakness for Prussia being exploited, guys. Cav. Cav for Prussia is just really bad. Now, they do have a lot more squares than Prussia 9. And the Swiss need to get out of there as there's a square, unless they're going to bayonet charge that square, which is actually looks like they're going to do. Rushing up some infantry, charge the square. Counter bayonet charge going in. Swiss actually may have their units break here, but Prussia is looking pretty weak here. Now we do have some cav maybe going for the Prussian 5-pounders. Austria is still looking, and I'm sorry, these are Austrian, not Prussian 5-pounders. Austria is still looking okay here. They just need to be really aggressive. Maybe if they can defeat this little side, then they can defeat them. Then go piecemeal. We do have Helder still holding the ground, holding strong actually.
We have killed their general, sir. Now,
Oh,
they
did
must
Prussia
strike.
lose their... Yeah, I think Prussia lost their general, which is going to cause the already terrible morale of Prussia to just go down the tubes. And Prussia will be probably gone from this battlefield, unfortunately. If Prussia had been able to hold, that would have changed the whole course of this battle. And now Austria is going to be on their own here, trying to fight. They have to take on basically two... Although France and Swiss are pretty badly bloodied. I mean, France has only like, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 units left. Swiss have a couple... But there goes Prussia. All they have is some guns. That is the nature of Prussia, guys. You take out the gen, you go for the head, and it's gonna break. Now here we go. France is breaking a Helder. Helders actually seems like a very good faction. I've not played them before, but we do have some Cav also in the back line, some Kazakis who are just breaking France. The one good silver lining for France is they still have a fully fresh army here. This army is barely fought. Now Russia does also have a very fresh army, but between the two, I think France has this in the bag. I don't think Russia has a huge army. Now the artillery is, oh my goodness, blasting away these Trilliers. These poor guys. They are pushing up here. They need to start moving though, because they're about to get 2v1'd. If Helder takes out their ally, they are going to get 2v1'd. Now at the same time, Austria is 2v1'ing the Swiss and France, and who knows how this will go. I think this artillery is going to help even the odds here, but I think this Cav can take it out, and that will put it back in the favor of the French. I think the Swiss and French can win this one. They're going to be very, very destroyed at the end of it, but I think they can take it on. I think they will take on this. The Swiss can do it. They're just going to be non-existent at the end of it. So Helder just needs to hurry up and finish off this French army. Looks like it's almost there. And France just needs to... maybe they need to wait. That may be a wise idea. Wait for your ally to come over here and then just squash them like a sandwich. There is still an hour left on this replay. Of timer. I'm not going to say that it's going to take the whole hour, but yeah, here we go. Here's the Cav going in for the artillery, and not a moment too soon. As you can see, the French and Swiss are starting to... Oh, here's the problem, guys. They're double stacked. They're probably killing each other. Yeah, they're probably killing each other here. These guys are totally firing into the back of the Swiss combat gen. Always got to watch out for that. I've done it where my combat gen was sitting in the back lines firing through his men. Now here we go though. We got a lot of Cav that's going to charge in. Austria's going to form a square. But the Swiss are just going to run right past them and probably hit the back lines. Thankfully, France still has some Cav left because that's the only thing that Austria cannot handle now. Looking at the mini-map, look at this. It's red and red and blue and blue. Helder has one here. Now, I think they are actually going to help out Austria. I don't think that's wise at this point. You need to try... I mean, I don't know. I guess pick your poison. Move over and help out Russia. Or move over and help out Austria. Russia has a pretty strong defense here, and they are blasting away these Trilliers still. What did they ever do to Russia? I mean, they're gonna do stuff to Russia if they make it, but oh, we do have some dragoons. But look at this. I think the Swiss are finally gonna make a breakthrough here. They're bayonet charging this side of Austrian line. Austria has gotta have a ton of kills at this point. Like, they have to have a ton of kills. We do have a lot of Cav in the back lines of Austria. If they just charge in the back lines, it's going to be over for Austria. And it looks like... what the heck is this? What kind of a formation is this? Yeah, here goes France. They're going to go in the back lines, and Austria's going to start breaking. Helder is going to go back to their hill. France is pushing up very aggressively. The Russians are about to lose their guns. And these Trilliers are finally going to get revenge for all those kills, but maybe not soon enough. Oh no! Oh no, they got it off just in time. I was about to be like, man, staring down the barrel of an artillery piece that's about to fire at you is not got to be fun. Austria is still holding, actually. Like I said, they're gonna take down most of the French and Swiss probably with them. Mass break over here as the Cavs charging in the back lines. There's not a whole lot left in this side, to be honest. If only Austria had a little more Cav at this point in time. Now we do have some Dragoons take on some very tired Cuirassiers, but they are wavering and they are winded, so we'll see if they can take them out. Helder may not be able to. We do have Swiss now attacking the back lines. Helder is moving the infantry back with probably Russia to hold off at this LOC. They lost their guns,
sir, and must rest a while.
They did lose their guns, and they are breaking Russia little by little. They have some very healthy units left. I think that the French have it at this point, unless they pull off some miracle. If Austria can pull off a miracle and then come help, maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, the Swiss are just using their flank to just keep bayonet charging Austria. Austria doesn't have enough left. They're going to break, and then Helder and Russia are truly pancaked. But they definitely did not go down without a fight. The general, I think, is going to get charged now. This is going to cause probably a mass break. Mass's battle, yeah. Comes to a close soon on this side. Where's the... Oh, there's the general. The Austrian general is going to get himself out of there. Alright, well, that side's not as exciting now as this one, where Helder is... Oh, they're getting shot to pieces by artillery. The French artillery is still very active. Now, we do have... Look at this defense, though.
We have killed their
There's
generals.
the Austrian general.
Now, they must break.
It's actually a very good defensive position. They have a stone wall. I'm going to pop this off. Look at this. I don't think they even have the LOC garrison. Oh, they do. They do have it garrisoned. They're just going to form up here. Looks like the French are actually going to start moving on the flank. Yeah, I can see them moving on the flank here. And France is probably going to get them before Helder. Helder has nothing really left, and they're getting their artillery blasted to pieces. Austria, once they lost their general, they just mass rout. And what remains of this force is going to advance. Now, it is... they lost a lot. Helder lost a lot, too. They were able to break this French army, but fortunately, it's not going to be enough. No, France is going to swing in here. This late army basically is going to finally do all the cleanup that the armies probably are too weak to do. Looks like we actually have some French or some Russians breaking here. Around this LOC. Yeah, and they're just going to bayonet charge, go in the flank. Russia's gonna try to reform up here. I love the pine trees. I like this map. It looks very nice. So, the French tidal wave. Oh my goodness. They're actually doing some real damage here. I'm not sure what's going on here, but Russia is getting surrounded. I don't think they had enough men. Honestly, I usually see Russia bring a lot more troops than they brought, and that's unfortunately what's kind of starting to really bite them. Helder is making a last stand, facing two directions here. Their general, Frederick, York, and Albany, trying to inspire his men. These guys are starting to drop like flies. What did I... interesting expression, you know, drop like flies. Are flies actually supposed to drop? Interesting thoughts with Kingston. So, yeah, France is going full in this house. They have grenadiers in the house. I think they have 2 grenadiers, actually. No, just 1. But the assault of the house, I think, is almost complete here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
You can see they're just absolutely surrounded here. More French charging in. So beautiful, though. You know, this game is so beautiful. We have some cav now as well. Russians desperately trying to hold on to this house. And last but not least,
fatigued, sir,
I think Russia's basically gone.
Rest a while.
Helder, who did so much. I really was impressed how well Helder broke through the French. Helder, who did so much now, is gonna die to the overwhelming, the shriveling volleys. Just gonna watch him just drop. Trillier is actually suffering heavily.
Our men are running, sir!
And they are breaking now. I would expect that, though. Oh, wow. So there's still some cav left over here from France. It looks like they're going to try to go in and finish up Helder. And this should break Helder, I think, as the French are going to push on the flank. And what a game. Let's see if there's anything else here. There's someone way in the back. I think a unit probably routed and is just going to have to come back. But some cav going to deal with it. Usually what happens in this time is I start telling people where enemy units are like, hey, there's a unit way back here in the back that came back.
And must rest a while.
Key just take care of them really fast. What a game, though. Man, that game was intense. Austria and Helder had an amazing push. Prussia did pretty good until they did not do good. The
men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I think they could have held on a little longer if they had done some double-stacked lines. They could have stood in front of the fire. They have heavy mass. Prussia has the mass to be able to stand and receive and send volleys for quite a while, and that's like their specialty, is standing in the line, shooting the enemy. The only thing I'd say that you can do is to increase the morale, because the morale just does terribly. Now, I don't know if this was maybe at an LOC or not, but this would be really good to have. The men are fatigued,
sir, and must rest a while.
We have the Russian general too. Hopefully he'll charge him out. This will be over. Oh no, the Russians lost. Or the Russians won. All right, I'll just skip to the end, guys, so we can look at the stats and see, you know, the kills and deaths and all. All right, guys. I don't know which French player it was that set this in. I apologize. It was one of these guys. Probably the one that didn't take as many losses. This guy? Writing? I don't know. But as you can see, the deaths in, yeah, let me see. Russia, okay, Russia didn't bring as much as I would have thought. Let's see the kills here. My goodness, see that Grenadier Assault Column? They probably were running down troops too. Honestly, 510, I've never seen that without, you know, doing a little farming. But the rest of these, I would believe, would be from the line battles. So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining me for this battle. Hope you enjoyed. That is about it for me. Computer comes in 2 days, and then I will start pumping out videos on the weekdays. After I get out of work, be very excited to get that going. And to start doing other games like 1212 AD and Thrones of Britannia, any other mods for any of the other Total War games that are fun. You guys can leave suggestions or join my Discord, and you can send me the replays. So, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.